Hey, Future Frost here, back with another data pack for the Origins mod. Today I'll be going over my latest origin, the Armor Wisp. The link to the data pack will be down in the description. While you're down there, I would appreciate it if you took the time to like and subscribe. It's free and it helps me out a lot in the YouTube algorithm. It's also just a huge motivator for me to keep making content and data packs for you all. So if you like what you see here, please like and subscribe. While you are down in the description, there will also be a link to my Discord server. My Discord server is a great place to report bugs, ask questions, get notifications for new uploads, and even suggest your own origin for me to make. In fact, the origin we'll be going over today was suggested by Lance over on my Discord server. It's a pretty small community, so I would love for you to stop by. Speaking of stopping by, about an hour after this video goes up, I'll be going live over on Twitch. I'll be playing some of the Origin in this video, so stop by and check it out. And if you're watching this long after I uploaded this video, check out my Twitch anyway. Who knows, I might be live. Anyway, I hope I didn't lose too many of you. Let's move on to the Origin. So, what is an Armor Wisp? An Armor Wisp is a spectral aberration born from the anguished cries of villagers on the brink of annihilation. Their prayers forged into iron and bound to a fragment of magic itself. It is a hollow guardian, a flicker of stolen light encased in armor, tasked with shielding the fragile lives that birthed it from the encroaching horrors of the dark. Yet, as time passes, the Wisp yearns for more. It can feel that it has a higher purpose, one beyond the small village from which it originates. The Armor Wisp, as the name and description implies, revolves around armor. So if you've ever wanted armor, and especially armor trims, to have more impact on the gameplay of Minecraft, this origin is definitely for you. And speaking of impact, the Armor Wisp has an impact of 3, meaning it significantly alters the gameplay of Minecraft. Examples of these changes could be as simple as changing where you spawn to be in a village, or as advanced as the way that you look at armor in the game. Now, let's get a little more in depth. We'll be starting with the primary ability of the origin, Spectral Aegis. Harness the collective prayers of desperation from the villagers who summoned you, unleashing a burst of spectral energy to form a protective barrier within the barrier's radius. Allies gain damage resistance and strength, shielded by the Guardian's ethereal might. Hostile creatures that enter the barrier are slowed and weakened, their strength sapped by the spectral energy that binds them. This power is both a shield and a weapon, a testament to the villagers' faith and your duty as their protector. What this ability means is that when used, you will place down a bubble-like shield. The bubble will stay in place while you move around. Once an enemy has entered it, they will receive slowness and weakness. Meanwhile, entities seen as allies will be buffed, receiving resistance and strength. Allies include villagers, iron golems, wandering traders, their llamas, and players. All other entities will be marked as enemies. Now you may be wondering if this can be used against players then. When you hit an enemy that is considered an ally, it will be marked as an enemy until death. So yes, it can be used on players. I know a huge portion of the Origins, I guess fan base you could call it, is interested in the PvP side, so I did make sure that the main ability would still be able to be used on players. Moving on from the main ability, we have the first positive modifier, Ally of the Desperate. The villagers who summoned you hold an innate trust in your purpose, seeing you as their spectral guardian. In gratitude, they offer their goods at lower prices, testament to their faith in your protection. What this modifier means is that the player will be given the Hero of the Village effect constantly. I might change this in a future update, but this was the only way I could think of to give the player better deals in villager trades. It does, in a way, make sense though, as the villagers see you as their hero protecting their village. And as an added upside, villagers will occasionally drop helpful items for you to use. Moving on to the next positive modifier, we have Forged in Hearthfire. You are born from the desperate prayers of villagers, a spectral guardian birthed bound to iron armor. This armor is your anchor to the world, a gift from those who crafted you. Without it, you are but a fleeting wisp, unable to fulfill your purpose. This modifier is mostly just explaining that the player will spawn in a village with full iron armor. The bit at the end is some flavor text that will tie in later when we get around to Ethereal Fragility. I will note that the village you spawn in is specifically a plains village. The way the modify player spawn power type works is just a little bit finicky and didn't allow me to set the player spawn to just spawn in villages in general. So if you're on a server where a plains village is really far away, or if you're in a mod pack that messes with things in some way so that Plains villages aren't going to spawn, you may want to remove this power from the data pack. The next positive modifier we have is Sustenance of the Hollow. You are free from the mortal need to eat, sustained instead by the spectral essence that binds your fractured soul. The rituals of nourishment are lost to you, a reminder of your separation from the living. This hollow gift allows you to endure eternally, yet it deepens the chasm between you and those you protect. This modifier is really a pretty simple one. Your hunger bar will always be set to max. The rest is just flavor text. I like giving the descriptions a little bit of lore for people to have fun with. A little bit of like a side tangent here, but like a funny side effect of this is that because of the ally of the desperate modifier causing villagers to give you tools and stuff for free by just like throwing them at you, part of that is they give you a lot of food. I just thought that was kind of funny in my playtesting. I was thinking about it, and it's kind of like the Iron Golem in a way. I've never really like imagined the Iron Golems being able to smell themselves, but they still understand the value and like smell of a rose being good. So as I was doing my playtesting, it was just funny, like the villagers are doing their best, so don't get too mad at them for giving you something that's just completely useless. Anyway, that's all the positive modifiers done. We'll be moving on to neutral modifiers. First off, we have Ethereal Fragility. You are a being of pure energy, untethered from the physical realm. Without armor, you are a specter, unable to touch or be touched by the non-magical world. Your health is not life, it is the threads of connections to your armor. When it is unbound, you are left vulnerable, a fractured soul cursed with debilitating afflictions. So what this modifier means is that when the player does not have any armor equipped, they will shrink down in size and be unable to properly interact with the world. They will not be able to build, break, or even partake in combat. An upside though, as your physical connections are unbound, you will not be tied down by gravity. Because of this, you will be able to fly, or rather swim in the air technically. The second part of this modifier is that in case you die, your health reaching 0. If you have armor equipped, you will drop your equipped armor and continue to live. You will be left with 4 hearts, slowness, mining fatigue, and blindness. Side effect of said slowness is that you will be unable to fly while these debuffs are in place. Again, this is only if you have armor equipped, so if you die without armor, you will die in the same way you do in vanilla Minecraft. The next neutral modifier is Runes of the Ancients. The trims you apply to your armor are of ancient runes, each material imbued with a different aspect of ancient magic. These runes grant you strange and powerful effects, but they also bind you tighter to the mortal realm. Choose carefully, for some runes may carry unintended consequences. This modifier is what I was talking about earlier, with giving armor trims an actual use in the game, besides the visuals of course. Each armor trim material gives unique effects. Some are stacking with more pieces of the material equipped, and some aren't. I won't be going over these in the video, as that would make this video pretty long. If you want to look into these more, there is a drop-down box on the Modrinth page that talks about the buffs they apply. I will note a general rule of thumb: debuffs never scale. Buffs that are conditional will scale higher than equivalent buffs that are constant, and buffs that are an increase to a single stat will always scale higher than a buff that increases multiple stats. So like an example of that last one being that gold will boost mining speed higher than redstone, as redstone buffs mining and movement speed in a single buff. Moving on, the next neutral modifier we have is Weight of Warding. The more protective your armor, the heavier it becomes, as if the weight of your duty itself clings to your form. In water, this weight becomes a dire liability, dragging you down to the lightless depths. Yet, you are not a being reliant on air, and drowning is not your fate. This is kind of where armor is really going to change as a mechanic in the game. In the base game, higher armor is always better. In this origin, that might not always be the case. The higher your armor value is, the more you will sink in water. With low armor values, you will be able to swim just fine. A little higher, you'll sink slowly. And higher than that, it would be as if the water wasn't there at all. At the end of the day though, sinking to the bottom of the ocean isn't too big of an issue for the armor wisp. They don't have lungs, and they don't need air to live. This concept of a high armor stat maybe not being the best continues in the next neutral modifier, Wisp's Radiance. You glow with an eerie, otherworldly light, a beacon of hope to the villagers who created you. Yet, Your armor dims this light, shielding you from the attention of darker forces. The more you encase yourself, the more you fade into the shadows, becoming a silent protector. Again, this modifier continues on the same trend as the previous modifier. The higher your armor value, the less light you will output. So an example of this is with no armor equipped, you will produce a lot of light, and with an armor value of 20, you will produce almost no light at all. We aren't done with this concept just yet either. It continues yet again into the first negative modifier, mana incorporation. You are sustained by the ambient magic that flows through the world, a gift or curse of your otherworldly nature. Yet, your armor acts as a barrier, stifling this connection. The more protective your armor, the more you struggle, cut off from the life-giving energies that sustain you. With this modifier, you will find that the health regeneration of the base game will be significantly altered. You heal over time, same as the base game, but the changes is that with no armor equipped, you will heal fairly quick, while with an armor value of 20, you will find yourself healing very slowly. And obviously, armor values in between, they would take time proportional to how much armor you have equipped. Now, finally moving on from this trend, we have Storm's Wrath. Lightning storms are a dire threat to your existence. The villager's magic that binds you also attracts the fury of the skies. During storms, lightning seeks you out, drawn to your unnatural presence. Survive the storm or be struck down and scattered to the winds. This modifier boils down to lightning storms being a proper threat to the Armor Wisp. During storms, every so often, lightning will directly strike you. While the chance for the lightning to strike you is completely random, if you are particularly unlucky, lightning can strike you every 3 seconds. So if luck isn't on your side, you might want to be careful during thunder and maybe hide underground. Moving on to the last negative modifier, and the last modifier of the origin, we have the Final Unmaking. Beware the true death. If you fall without the protection of your armor, your essence will unravel, consumed by the void. Even with armor, arcane forces can pierce your defenses, severing your connection to existence entirely. So this modifier here pulls back into what I was talking about earlier with Ethereal Fragility. I stated this earlier to prevent some confusion, but if you do not have armor equipped and your health reaches 0, you will die the same way you do in vanilla Minecraft. Now, an important note here is that if your health reaches 0, even if you have armor equipped, if the killing blow was magic based, it will properly kill you. So be careful, even if you have like backup armor in your hotbar, you can still be slain if someone is using the right tools. That is all I have for you in this video. Again, the link to the Origin data pack will be in the description. I recommend you look into the armor trim material descriptions. They're pretty game changing and powerful if you combine them right. If you have any other questions about them, feel free to ask over on my Discord server. Again, the link to my Discord server is down in the description, and on top of that is the link to my Twitch channel. I'd love for you to stop by both of those. Again, I'll be going live in about an hour after this video goes up. And hey, will you look at that? Made it to the end of the video. If you watched this far, I'm willing to bet you enjoyed watching it, and if you did, I would really appreciate it if you could take a second to like and subscribe. Alright, that's all I've got. I'll see you all next time.